everybody, welcome to my first ever F1 2021 League race. As you can see, we're headed to Australia for round 1 of the F1wow Racing League season. If you guys want to check out F1wow, check them down in the links below. You can check out their Discord, Instagram, and YouTube channel. And it's a pretty good league from what I'm seeing right now, and this will be my first ever league race. It's pretty exciting. This is my first ever league race actually on any sim racing game, either Forza or anything, not even F1 2020. So this is a pretty cool experience. I thank F1wow for giving me this opportunity, and also AlphaTauri for signing me as the reserve driver for this race. As you guys may have seen in my Breaking Point Part 1 video, I am not the best at Australia, but hopefully this race proves that even though I hate Australia with deep hatred, that I think I raced a bit better than last time. But if you guys read the title, it summarizes the whole race itself. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but the race didn't go as planned. That's pretty much all I'll say for now. As you can see, my teammate for this race is Hiroski. He definitely is a better driver than me, as you may see in the race. The race is a 50% race, 29 laps. Each car is on equal performance, with the whole race set to be sunny, so no rain to be thrown in the works, which is very thankful because as much as I hate Australia, I hate rain in Australia, so that'll be even worse if that did happen. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as I did recording it, and comment down below if you guys want any more league racing videos and possibly any other sim racing content, as I'll be coming out with more in the future. Onto the race then, or onto qualifying in this case. I did do a few practice laps because again I hate Australia, so I knew I needed to practice before the race and before qualifying to get anywhere good near these guys, as we get released out of the pit lane into an Alpine, which isn't very good, isn't very convenient. Also, one more thing to point out is that I got signed the day before the race, so I wasn't sure how good everybody was. I knew some people, or at least what I initially thought was most people, were using wheel, and that I was one of the very few controller drivers. It does seem that the majority of this league is actually controller drivers, so that is a bit more helpful, and that the wheel drivers didn't perform exactly the best in this league, or at least they didn't perform the best in this race. Maybe it's bad luck, maybe it's just this wasn't their race, and that who knows what happened. So as you can see, yellow flags behind us, the Alpine just goes off track for no reason as we start our first hot lap, just going through the motions, trying to do a lot better than we did when we first drove in Australia in that Breaking Point Part 1 episode. So it's definitely a lot better now. I think my driving was a lot better again in this race than in that Breaking Point Part 1 episode. So in this first hot lap, just going through, trying to do everything I can, try to keep pace with. I know there are a lot of people that are going to drive better than me that I just wanted to keep up with them. I was surprised by this. We set a purple first sector, so this definitely gave me a lot more confidence into the next few sectors. We weren't the first ones out, actually. My teammate went out ahead of me, so hopefully again AlphaTauri can qualify high in this one, as my teammate sets the fastest lap this time, and through the dangerous high-speed chicane, get a bit of wheel spin, as I think the Haas got a bit too much wheel spin, as I think that's a Ferrari that also set the fastest lap this time. So it's just going to take a while, just trying to just suss out where I need more grips, where I need to get down on the throttle, just trying to get used to the track on these softs, and just hopefully prepare better for the race and just go through the motions, and hopefully we'll get a good position as we qualify 1.6 seconds behind the Ferrari in P1, so isn't it best? But I do notice we gain a lot of time through that first chicane, so I decided to go, you know what, how about another flyer, another hot lap. As you can see, we're getting a bunch of time through these turns. We must have set a horrible first hot lap, as we already gained 4/10 in the first sector, setting a green first sector of course, but we do lose a bit of time on that turn right there, and about lose almost 3/10 on that turn. But by the end of the lap, we pretty much lost all the time we gained, and just trying to gain enough time, maybe just to improve by a little bit, as the Red Bull just spun off the track, not off track, but just spun away, which we just lose all that time that we would have gone as we got a better exit on the main straight. So that was a bit disappointing. So here we are then on our third flying lap, technically on our third flying lap. Again, just trying to, as there are floating tires out of nowhere from that Red Bull. I guess the Red Bull reset, but the tires didn't, ironically. So again, set another lap, again getting a whole bunch of time through that first chicane, just trying to improve on that first flying lap so much. And again, we're just gaining time. We're gaining about 3.5 tenths, but 4 tenths through that turn, almost 5 tenths, as we are in P8 right now. As someone tried to qualify on mediums, didn't work out so well. I'm unsure of where my teammate is right now. I'm pretty sure they're still in P3, around there in the top 3 places, as there's a random yellow flag in the middle of nowhere. Though I do see what appears to be either a Williams or an Alpine on my mini map. I did look ahead, and I was just hoping that they'd stop right before the high speed chicane, and luckily they do. As we said, a purple second sector, absolutely flying through this lap. We take the high speed chicane a lot better than we did last time, as we're gaining a whole bunch of time, and this is much better than our first hot lap and even our second hot lap, as we're just gaining time almost everywhere. And through the final few corners, I do lose a bit of time on the corner itself, but we do gain it all back on the exit. Again, the floating tires are still there. I wasn't sure if I can go through them or not, but here we are then. We qualify only P6. I thought it was going to be a bit better. So here we are then for our fourth flying lap. Keep forgetting that we said 2 continuous ones, but here we are then, 4th final lap. The floating tires still there. At this point I figured out that I can just go through the floating tires, though it was a bit annoying. So here we are again, losing a bit of time as we got a poor exit out of the final corner. And we lose even more time on the first chicane, the first turns, as it looks to be either Alpine or Williams. Alpine getting out of the way, luckily. So this lap doesn't look like it's going to be as good as that, what I think was my perfect 3rd lap. But again, we just see what happens, see if we can pull off any stunts, any miracles, as we definitely take that corner. What I thought was a bit faster, but felt faster. We lose still a bit more time, as we're almost 2 tenths off our 3rd lap, our 3rd flying lap, our best lap. So still losing a bit of time. We kind of in the middle, still not gaining time, still not catching up to that delta. So we still try to go through the high speed chicane. We carried too much speed, and we just got on the curb a bit too much and just spun. The worst spot to spin, and again the high speed chicane of death catches us again, as the man Arava himself is there to walk us back after our unfortunate retirement. So actually, once we go back to the leaderboard, only 5 people are even left. I guess I know a lot of people retire. Even my teammate retired, and he retired so far in P1. Will my teammate actually get pole position? But in the end, he only gets P3. I stay in P6. It's definitely a lot better than I thought it would do. Good result for AlphaTauri during qualifying. Just hope this all comes together during the race, and hopefully we'll be able to make some stunts happen, make just some magic happen in this case, and hopefully do some great work, get some great points from P6 and P3. So the strategy is simple in this race, 29 lap race. I was thinking of a 2-stop, but I wanted to keep it simple. Softs to hards, 9 laps on softs, 20 laps on hards. Nice and simple. Lower the fuel a little bit, just trying to make the car as light as possible for the race. We're gonna need to pull off a lot of stunts during this race. I want to pull off something spectacular during this race. Try to do our best job as we can. Again, starting from P6, right behind a Red Bull of Sir with a Face, and right in front of the AlphaTauri of Monkey. So again, an interesting grid. It's all equal performance. So it may seem weird that a Alfa Romeo has qualified this high. So again, equal performance, definitely going to be interesting. as this is all based off driver skill. So I did take a lot of pride in even qualifying this high up into P6. So as we wait for everything to go out, 5 lights are up. 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix in round 1 of the F1wow Racing League. 5 lights are out and we're underway as we get a much better start than the Red Bull. Much surprising as the sister team is doing a bit better at the start of the race than the Red Bull car. As up ahead we see an Aston Martin of Shihan. Definitely, he started on pole, definitely not the start he wanted as he's all the way down in P5. The Williams of Unfound spins on that corner and my teammate gets bunked down back to P3. He did get a great start, what I initially thought was a great start, and he did qualify up high all the way to P3, but we've done an amazing job somehow avoiding the carnage and jumping all the way into P2 from P6. An amazing start for us, first jumping the Red Bull and then just avoiding all the carnage on the initial first sector, as now we're going to try to stay on the back of this Ferrari. He did qualify a lot higher than us and was a lot faster than us in qualifying, so hopefully we'll at least stay on the back of him, as I knew our teammate was bound to catch up to us at some point as we slide through that high speed chicane, slide on the curb, and just trying to use all ERS as I think the Red Bull spun on the high speed chicane and he goes down to order. And let's see, Goldfinger, the other Aston Martin, Sheehan's teammate, he is definitely doing well on the hard compounded tire, actually qualifying in P13 all the way up until P5. So definitely a great start for a few racers, including myself and Goldfinger, and a great start for AlphaTauri as we're both P2 and P3. Could there be a double podium for AlphaTauri? That would be a great result for us, as it's round 1. This would be a great start. I'm even a reserve driver and this would be a great start for even a reserve. As we miss our braking point on this corner, go a bit wide. I wanted to let my teammate through anyway as he was catching up to us, so I guess that was just a convenient way of letting him through and still staying ahead of the Alfa Romeo, which is now 2.1 seconds behind us. So we still got a bit of a gap. I want to stay on the back of my teammate, catch up to a little bit, get DRS, and hopefully we can get together chase down the Ferrari in P1. But towards the fourth lap, we are setting personal best sectors, but still my teammate was still setting the fastest lap, and I was pulling away from the Alfa Romeo. So this is part of the race that I'll say somewhat got boring, and this was the moment that lag started to ruin my race and started to make things a bit more interesting, and completely ruined my race as I get jumped by both the Alfa Romeo of Monkey and the Aston Martin of Goldfinger, as I'm getting continuous lag spikes and just losing a whole bunch of times to the cars ahead of me, and even the cars behind me I'm losing a whole bunch of time to these crazy lag spikes where I can't move and people are just kind of going through me and going past me. As Goldfinger spins and we kind of get back another position. He did get a great start. It's kind of unfortunate. He started on the hards. He was in a great position to maybe even win the race. But that spin kind of ruined it for this one. As we skip ahead to lap 9, we are catching up to Monkey again. It'd be surprised if we do catch him as our teammate goes in pits. I was going to pit this lap anyways. So again, he was far enough away to kind of be comfortable for me to pit and not double stack. But the safety car is called out. I'm unsure for who, but we're gonna pit anyway along with Monkey and just maybe even try to jump and try to get closer to him, as we do gain what looks to be visually a bit of time on just a pit entry. So we're gonna put on our hopefully first and last set of hards, as hopefully we don't have to pit again, and hopefully we can get a podium. This is the hope here. We want to get a podium, hopefully a double podium for AlphaTauri, and hopefully we can just overtake this Alfa Romeo Monkey, and hopefully everything goes well on the safety car restart. A lot of this is based off hope. I wasn't very sure during the race if where I was going to be, where I was going to qualify, where I was even going to finish, as this is very much an up and down race. As you guys saw, it first began as it was a great start, then we got bunked down due to lag spikes, just a horrible situation that happened. But again, this is an opportunity with the safety car. Hopefully we can get back our position and hopefully we can, as we get another lag spike, and this is the worst possible time to have one, as the whole field, the whole safety car train jumps us. We go from what was P4 to P9. This was probably the worst case scenario that could have happened to me. The only other worst case scenario would have been a disqualification for some reason, but in this case this is even worse for me because there was nothing I could have did, nothing I could have done, and it was just horrible just sitting there knowing what was going to happen, as Williams that has a 5-second penalty, the Williams that spun, Williams that was in P2. I don't know why he has a 5-second penalty, but he pits for some medium tires, actually medium tires. I noticed some people did pit for mediums. I was thinking about going for mediums, as tire wear wouldn't really be that much during the safety car, but I didn't want to take a risk. I wanted reliable tire wear on the hard compounded tire and just be able to keep going, be able to push on the tire without having to worry about my mediums going off. But again, we just keep having lag spikes. Luckily we don't fall behind even more from P8 this time, but we just lose a total of 4 positions, and this is me trying to figure out if there's anything I can do to stop these lag spikes from happening. I didn't want to lose any more positions. I was in hope for a podium, and now we're just down in P8, just trying to salvage anything we can. And I was really desperate at this point. I was thinking I'm gonna try to jump Goldfinger, jump this Aston Martin right on the restart, and get the best restart as I can, and be able to just get all my positions back. Even could I even get back to P4 from P8? That would have been something. Would be something, and hopefully we can be able to do it in this race. If we don't get any more lag spikes, that'll be great. I wanted to focus on getting all these positions back, but I was also just relying on the hope that I don't get any more lag spikes, as the safety car is coming in this lap. I just wanted to be able to focus on being able to get the best start, and just being, again, I know I keep saying this, but getting all these positions back, because I really was frustrated, really am frustrated at these just lag spikes that kept happening, and there's really nothing I could do about it. Again, I was just sitting there watching everyone, not everyone go past me, just sitting there watching, and then all of a sudden people teleporting ahead of me. As the safety car is in, we don't get the best start, don't get the best restart. As we go through the first corner, we kind of jump the curve a bit, and we go into the wall. Somehow we don't break any tire, we don't get any more damage than a completely lost front wing. We must have hit the wall at the perfect spot not to damage anything else. But we do have to come in this lap. Again, nothing, it seems like everything, we had a perfect start, all that I could have hoped for from P6 to P2, but now we're just in last place. Technically anyone that would finish, anyone that does finish in the points, so I guess that's at least a good thing, as everyone else DNF'd somehow. But this is definitely not how I wanted this race to even go, as we're gonna put on a fresh set of medium tires when we come in. And as I said, this race probably couldn't have gone any worse, couldn't have went downhill any worse. The only way it could have went downhill even worse would have been a disqualification, or even more penalties, any penalties at all. But we do come in for this time our last stop of the race, not planned, but our last stop of the race, fitting on new front wing, new fresh medium tires. We are going to be hopefully the fastest man on this track, be able to set some, hopefully the fastest laps of the race. At this point I want to recover. My main goal at this point was getting the fastest lap. I knew that the odds of me being able to catch the Alpine of expired cyanide and the Williams of unfound, even though unfound has a 5-second penalty, it would have been very tough for me to catch both of them, and as they're over 40 seconds ahead of me. I knew I again had fresh rubber. Who knows what happened, there's still over 10 laps left, but again, I wasn't very hopeful. I just wanted the fast lap and be able to get my head down and focus on being able to catch up to them, and again, getting that one extra point that will be needed for the fastest lap, and just recover any points, salvage any points that could happen. It didn't show in the recording, but Unfound actually got in another incident, as he got a 10-second penalty added on to his 5-second penalty and DNF'd out of the race. So we get P9. As I said, the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We are the fastest man on the circuit at the moment. Again, I was determined on getting this fastest lap, being able to just catch up to everybody else, but we were over. Let's say the leaderboard at this point was a bit bugged, bit swaying back and forth. As I did say, I was 45 seconds behind Goldfinger, but now that time is continuously coming down. And again, I keep saying this, but I just truly wanted to recover as many positions as possible, as Sheehan actually sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. I think he's in P1 at the moment, which would be amazing because he did spin and break his front wing and pit on the first lap. So if he can pull off a recovery drive, hey, why can't I? Though it is a bit late in the race, only 11 laps left. Who knows what could happen? It's Formula 1. Even in game, anything can happen at this point. We are in P9. As Goldfinger, I do see, does pit along with the Haas that was on hard tires. So we do have even more of a chance. Again, it's Formula 1, anything could happen, and this may be the perfect chance for me to catch up with the rest of the field, as Goldfinger puts on a set of soft compound tires, so he's actually going to be the fastest man on track. But hopefully we might be able to jump him in the pit lane, as the Haas fits on medium tires, as they are right now coming out of the pit lane, and we do end up going past both of them in the pit lane. We go from P9 to P7, but again, Goldfinger has that fastest compound, has that soft compounded tire, so he is the fastest man on track. So it's definitely going to be a challenge keeping him behind us. And in my mind, I was thinking, alright, the odds of me keeping him behind me were slim, very slim. So I was thinking, alright, when the opportunity comes, I'm going to let him pass. I don't want to lose any more time than I have to. I don't want to DNF. I don't want to get any stupid penalty. I just wanted to, at this point, finish the race after everything that's happened. So down the straight, he has DRS, I believe. So I brake even earlier than I need to. Just don't even defend it. Let him go past me. As this one get a lot of understeer through the corner, but he gets even more as he goes over the curb, so we'd re-overtake him. And just, this was a bit of a cycle, as he didn't want, it seemed like he didn't want to overtake me. He did tried to overtake me a bit. This is really the only time he did try to overtake me, but it just seemed like whenever he was catching me, he'd make a mistake. And as the laps went on, we're on lap 22 with only not even that many laps left. I was going through my head, alright, if he tries to overtake me one last time, I will let him through. But if he makes any more mistakes, I will start defending, start trying to keep this position. As he does make one more mistake, falling back almost 2 seconds behind us. So at this point, I made up in my mind, I'm going to try to defend this position, try to run away from him this time. Even though he is a lot faster, he set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So at this point, I was going to try to defend with all my life, all that I could on these, at this point, worn mediums. So as you can see, even caught up still a bit of time, even just in the third sector, as on the end of lap 23 onto 24, he has caught up to us. He does have DRS. He doesn't catch up too much as I break the toe, break the slipstream, but I do on the first corner, first chicane, miss my braking point. As I go wide, I don't want to rejoin right in front of him, so I do let him through. So as it happens, we have to let him through anyway. And just at this point, again, at this point in my head, I was going through, just finish the race, don't make a stupid mistake, don't spin again. I was lucky just to break my front wing, not break anything else, and DNF out of the race. So in my head, I'm thinking, just finish the race. I was thinking, could I have enough pace to even set the fast lap for the Grand Prix again? But I knew, I'm just saying, a whole bunch of red sectors, not getting anything faster. So I knew I'd just either keep up with Goldfinger or let him go. And him being on a much faster compound, I had to let him go. As actually the Alpine of expired cyanide pits for fresh mediums. So we make up one more position. We're one down from where we originally started in P6. but P7 is still some good points for the team if we can keep it. He is on fresh mediums, so it's going to be a bit interesting to see how this plays out. If we can run away with P7, then that'll definitely be good. The Haas that was behind me is, we're almost about to overlap him. I don't really know what happened to him, but the race definitely was interesting as I get another lag spike, and luckily it wasn't anything worse, but expired cyanide does gain some time on me, and just trying to again run away with this. At this point in my head I was thinking I'm given this opportunity to take some more points by him pitting, so this is my opportunity just to get a bit more as I pause the game, just trying to relax, get through my head, as I think Goldfinger spun just a bit on the end of the DRS straight, but he does end up keeping the position, and luckily he doesn't lose any more time, though he is the fastest man on circuit, though the Haas that was behind us sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He did pit for a fresh set of soft tires, but speaking of the Haas, we are about to overlap him as I think he spun right when he set the fastest lap. So again, just approaching back, this is really the last interesting thing that happened in the race, as expired cyanide didn't keep up, which was weird in my head. That I was thinking it was weird, he's on fresh mediums but he wasn't really keeping up with us. We were actually pulling away from him, almost 12 seconds behind us, and this time we're gonna have even more pace, as we're gonna have the DRS off of the back marked Haas, which isn't even surprising, is a very common sight nowadays. But again, he did set a fastest lap, so that's not a common sight among Haas's nowadays, among either Haas. But again, we're hopefully, my plan at this point was, we're only 7 seconds behind Goldfinger right now, and I wasn't sure, should I pass the back marker or should I just use him as a horse and carriage to be able to pull me along and catch up to Goldfinger. I was thinking at this point that softs had to be wearing out by now, that I was actually going to be a lot faster than him. Even though my mediums are a bit older, his softs are definitely going to be being worn at this point. But Sheehan, by lap 29 we didn't really catch up to him, but Sheehan wins the Australian Grand Prix round 1 of the F1wow Racing League season, and props to him. He started P1, he deserved that P1, but just being able to pull off that recovery drive, pitting on lap 1, breaking his front wing by spinning. But we come home to finish in P7, not the race we expected to. We had to pace, I believe we had to pace for the podium, but we could take what we can get, just hopefully being able to come back stronger later. As Goldfinger gets driver of the day, he did qualify in P13, so finishing in P6 is definitely a great result for him. As again, props to Sheehan for just being able to pull off this amazing recovery drive, the Ferrari being able to keep P2 and my teammate being able to keep P3 on the podium, what I think is a great few points for AlphaTauri in this race. As again, while Aston Martin did do better, they got on the podium, got P1 and got P6, but I think this is a great result for AlphaTauri in this race. But let me guys know what you think in the comments down below. Again, thank F1wow for allowing me to drive in this race. Again, check them out in the description down below. Again, comment down below if you want any more league racing content on this channel. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like if you liked the video, and turn on notifications while you're at it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.